Mr. Thompson's eyes narrowed, suspicion written all over his face, but he didn't press further. He nodded slowly and walked away. Both of them exhaled in relief, but the scare left a mark. That was too close, Ethan whispered, holding her hand again. We can't keep doing this. I know, Sarah replied, tears prickling her eyes. But I don't want to stop. Not you. Not us. They sat in silence, the weight of reality settling around them. Their secret romance was thrilling, yes, but it was also fragile, dangerous, and unsustainable if they didn't face the truth. Later that night, Sarah lay in bed, phone in hand, staring at Ethan's last message. I'll wait. Always. For the first time, she realized that love wasn't just about excitement or passion. It was about choices, consequences, and courage. She had to decide. Keep the romance hidden and risk being discovered, or step back, protecting herself and her family, even if it hurt. The next morning she sent him a text. We need to talk in person. Somewhere private. When they met, under the same old oak tree by the river where so many secret moments had happened, Ethan looked at her expectantly. I can't keep sneaking around, Sarah said, voice steady but trembling. We have something real, yes. But we also have responsibilities, people who care about us. I can't risk everything for secret moments. Ethan nodded slowly, understanding in his eyes. I get it. I really do. But I don't want to lose you either. They sat in silence, watching the water glint in the morning sun, realizing that love sometimes required patience, honesty, and courage. In the weeks that followed, they navigated a new path, still close, still connected, but with boundaries that respected reality. They continued to text, meet carefully, and build trust, learning that love didn't always need to be secret to feel electric. Sarah learned that the thrill of secrecy could never replace the strength of honesty. The rain slowed to a drizzle, and they walked together, soaked and shivering, back toward the nearest cover. Every step was a reminder of how high the stakes were. Their romance, thrilling as it was, existed in a delicate balance. One misstep could unravel it all. Later, lying in bed, Sarah stared at the ceiling, heart racing. Her mind replayed every detail, the excitement, the fear, the closeness of being caught. She realized the truth she had been avoiding. She was in deeper than she had anticipated. This wasn't just fun or flirtation anymore. This was real, emotional, dangerous. And she didn't know if she was ready to face the consequences. Chapter 5. The Climax and Consequences. It was a Saturday evening, and Sarah's family had invited some neighbors over for a small gathering. She had promised herself she would stay home and not meet Ethan this time. But when her phone buzzed with his message, I miss you. Can we meet? Just for a little while. Her heart wrenched. Just a little while. She knew she couldn't resist. She texted back quickly. Okay, a quick meet. Behind the old bookstore. 5 minutes. As she stepped out, she kept looking over her shoulder, imagining every possible scenario where someone could see her. Ethan was already there, waiting under the dim streetlight. His eyes lit up when he saw her, and for a moment, the world felt suspended. They hugged quickly, hands brushing, and sat on the curb, sharing whispered words and small touches. But the thrill was cut short when a familiar voice called out. Sarah? What are you doing out here? Her heart stopped. It was her neighbor, Mr. Thompson, returning from his evening walk. Ethan's hand slipped from hers, and Sarah froze, her mind racing for an explanation. Oh, I'm just getting some air, she stammered, cheeks burning. Thompson's eyes narrowed, suspicion written all over his face, but he didn't press further. He nodded slowly and walked away. Both of them exhaled in relief, but the scare. I'm here. Are you coming? Ethan's message made her pulse quicken, but panic gripped her chest. How could she go without risking being seen? She hesitated, then typed, Give me 5 minutes. Don't move. Pulling on her raincoat, she slipped out through the back door, careful not to wake anyone. The rain soaked her hair and dripped down her face as she sprinted through the streets, adrenaline mixing with fear. Ethan was already under the large oak tree, drenched but grinning. You made it, he exclaimed, taking her hand. Barely, she panted, glancing nervously down the street. My parents, they might come back early. He nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. Okay, let's keep it short then. They huddled under the tree, laughter mingling with the sound of rain. Every stolen touch, every whispered word felt electric. For a moment, the world outside, the responsibilities, the family, the potential consequences vanished. But then Sarah froze. A pair of headlights cut through the rain-soaked darkness, and a car slowed at the park entrance. Her heart jumped into her throat. "Oh no," she whispered, clutching Ethan's arm. "It's my dad's car." Ethan pulled her down behind the tree just in time. The car passed slowly, and they held their breath until it disappeared down the street. Sarah's hands were trembling as she realized how fragile their secret really was. That was too close," she said, voice shaking. "I know," Ethan replied softly, brushing rain from her hair. "But I couldn't stop myself from coming to see you." Sarah looked into his eyes, feeling the weight of desire and fear mingling inside her. She wanted him, yes, but she also knew that if they were caught, it could change everything. "Ethan, we have to be careful," she whispered. I can't risk my family finding out." "I get it," he said, squeezing her hand. "But I don't want to stop. Not yet." She felt a small pang of guilt. It wasn't just the secrecy with Ethan. It was the little lies she had started telling to protect their meetings. Later that evening, her best friend, Mia, sent a text. "You've been acting weird lately, Spill. Who's the mystery guy?" Sarah's stomach sank. The carefully balanced secret was already showing cracks. She didn't reply immediately, unsure what she could say without revealing too much. Over the next few days, every moment with Ethan was electric. They walked through quiet parks, shared ice cream at night, and whispered secrets under street lamps. But with each meeting came growing tension. Sarah worried about being seen, about someone noticing, about the line between fantasy and reality blurring too quickly. One night, as they sat on a bench overlooking the city lights, Ethan said softly, "Sarah, do you ever think about what happens if someone finds out?" She swallowed hard. "All the time. That's what scares me." "I know," he whispered, brushing her hand. "But somehow, I can't stop thinking about you." Her heart ached with desire and fear at the same time. She wanted to pull him closer, to let go of all caution, but she also knew the risk. Their relationship existed in shadows, in stolen moments, in whispers. It was thrilling and terrifying. Back at home, Sarah couldn't sleep. Her mind replayed every smile, every glance, every subtle touch. She realized that this secret romance had changed her life in ways she hadn't anticipated. Every text, every meeting, every tiny stolen moment had become the axis on which her world now turned. And yet deep inside, a question lingered. How long could this secret survive? Chapter 4. The Risk of Exposure. It was a rainy Thursday evening, and Sarah's parents had unexpectedly decided to return home early from their errands. Her heart sank as she realized she was supposed to meet Ethan at the small park near the river, a place they had claimed as their secret world. Her phone buzzed. Sarah lay on her bed, replaying every word, every glance, every accidental touch. She knew that this secret was intoxicating and risky. She knew it could change everything if anyone found out. Yet she couldn't deny the pull she felt toward Ethan. In the quiet darkness of her room, with her heart still pounding, Sarah whispered to herself. Chapter 3. Suspense and Emotional Stakes. The next weekend, Sarah found herself counting down the hours until Ethan's next text. Her phone buzzed at exactly 10:17 a.m. "Coffee at the usual place? I'll grab the table by the window." Her heart leapt. She glanced around her living room. Her younger brother was at soccer practice, her parents out running errands. Perfect timing. Perfect cover. By the time she arrived at the cafe, Ethan was already there, pretending to read a book but sneaking glances at the door every few seconds. He stood when he saw her, and this time, the hug lingered just a bit too long, sending a shiver down her spine. This feels dangerous," she whispered, sliding into the seat across from him. "Dangerous?" he teased, but the hint of seriousness in his eyes betrayed him. "You mean exciting?" Sarah bit her lip, unable to argue. Exciting, yes. But the word dangerous lingered in her mind. Every meeting, every touch, every secret laugh came with the weight of potential consequences. They spent the next hour talking, laughing, and sharing stories they hadn't dared type in their chats. Ethan brushed a strand of hair from her face again, and this time Sarah didn't look away. Her pulse quickened. She was acutely aware that this connection, so intense, so alive, was entirely forbidden. Meanwhile, back at home, Sarah's mother noticed something different. "Sarah, you've been on your phone a lot lately," her mom said casually during lunch. "Everything okay with school and your friends?" "Yeah, everything's fine," Sarah replied quickly, hiding her phone under the table. They sipped their drinks, the clatter of cups and distant chatter of other patrons filling the space between them. It was the same Ethan from their chats, funny, attentive, engaging, but somehow more real, more present. "So," he began, leaning forward slightly, "it's really you. Sitting here. I mean, I imagined this 100 times, but reality, it's different." Sarah smiled, feeling a flush rise in her cheeks. "I know. It feels strange, doesn't it?" "It does. But in a good way." Their conversation flowed more naturally after that. They talked about movies, music, dreams, and even the little things they had never shared online. The textures of daily life, their families' favorite childhood memories. Yet beneath every word was an unspoken tension. The thrill of secrecy, the risk of discovery, and the undeniable pull between them. At one point, Ethan reached across the table, brushing a stray hair from her face. Sarah's heart skipped a beat, and she quickly looked down, hoping he hadn't noticed. "I can't believe we're really doing this," he said softly. "Meeting like this. It feels like we're in our own little world." Sarah nodded, unsure whether to admit that she had imagined this moment countless times. "Yeah, our own little world." The clock ticked toward closing time, and reluctantly, they stood to leave. They walked together to the street, lingering just a moment too long under the soft glow of a street lamp. "See you soon?" Ethan asked, his hand brushing against hers. "Soon," Sarah whispered. And with a small smile, she slipped back into the night, heart racing, mind spinning with excitement, guilt, and the thrill of something dangerously forbidden. As she drove home, every shadow felt alive, every familiar street corner charged with a secret energy. She parked her car quietly, stepped inside, and tiptoed to her room. The house was silent. Her parents were asleep, unaware of the small adventure that had just unfolded in the world beyond her bedroom wall. The late-night chats became their ritual. Every night, when the world outside her bedroom fell silent, Sarah and Ethan connected in a way that felt electric, intimate, and completely separate from reality. But it wasn't just the fun, it was the thrill of secrecy. Sarah felt alive in ways she hadn't realized she'd been missing. And with every new message, every shared laugh, the line between online fantasy and real-life attraction blurred. One evening, Ethan typed something that made her pause. "I wish I could see you in person." Her heart raced. She knew this was a turning point. Meeting in real life could either solidify their connection or destroy everything. Sarah stared at the blinking cursor, torn between desire and caution. Her family didn't know about Ethan. No one could know. And yet, the temptation to finally bridge the gap between screen and reality was almost irresistible. She typed back slowly, deliberately. "Maybe someday. But not yet." Chapter 2. The First Secret Meetup. Sarah sat in her car, parked a few blocks from the coffee shop Ethan had suggested. Her hands trembled slightly as she gripped the steering wheel. The streets were quiet, dimly lit by the fading street lamps, but her heart was anything but calm. She kept repeating the plan in her head: stay calm. Keep it casual. Don't do anything reckless. But deep down, she knew that nothing about tonight was casual. Her phone buzzed. A text from Ethan. "I'm here. Sitting at the corner table. Can't wait to see you." She took a deep breath, smoothed her hair, and stepped out of the car. Every step toward the cafe felt surreal. Inside, Ethan looked up from his laptop, and for a brief second, the world shrank to just the two of them. He stood when he saw her, eyes wide, smiling nervously. "Sarah." His voice was softer than she imagined, almost fragile. "Hi," she whispered, trying to keep her composure. They sat across from each other, and for the first few minutes, neither spoke much.